This is what the Blessed One said. Having said this, the Fortunate One, the teacher, further said, the five aggregates are truly burdens. The burden carrier is the person. Taking up the burden is suffering in the world. Laying down the burden is blissful. Fruit. One is free from hunger, fully quenched. So we finish today with the burden, right? With some very poetic, beautiful words today, right? The five aggregates are truly burdens. Remember when I said the beginning of this, Buddha said, what is the burden? Five aggregates subject to clinging. But here, the Buddha is saying the five aggregates, right? Even the five aggregates, once you have abandoned them, once you have stopped clinging to them, even the five aggregates are suffering, are a burden, right? The burden carrier is the person. Taking up the burden. So what is the taking up of the burden? The taking up of the burden was our craving, right? Clinging. And so the Buddha says right here, taking up the burden is suffering in the world. As soon as we take up this burden, as soon as we create this person and build this person and get attached to this person, there's suffering right there. You can't have one without the other, right? Laying down the burden is blissful. What are you laying down? Laying down your craving, laying down your ignorance, laying down the attachment to a permanent self. Laying it all down is blissful. Right? Just like, you're carrying a heavy backpack, or your atlas holding the world, right? And then when you let it down, especially after, I used to do these crazy military style events where you had like a 50-pound backpack on your back, and you kept it on your back for like 12 hours. They made you do all kinds of crazy stuff for 12 hours. And when I took that, I was a Buddhist at the time already by 3-4 years. And the analogy did not escape me the first time I did one of these things, and I took my backpack off, and I felt like I could fly away. I felt so light, and it felt so free, and so light and free and good. I was like, It's like, yeah, this is what it must be like to lay down the burden, right? There's such a feeling of freedom and lightness and peace and contentment and bliss, right? And you can have these experiences just for temporary, right? Like you'll have, as you practice over the years, you will have periods of time where you will actually end up laying down the burden for a little bit. And you'll get a little glimpse as to what that feels like. It's like, this is really nice, right? Like a quiet mind. A mind that's not running, that is equanimous and not running after likes and dislikes, right? Not building up this person. Quiet mind not doing that is so nice and peaceful. It's like, yes, let's stay like this for as long as we can, because it's not going to last forever, because you're not awakened just yet, right? Having laid the burden down without taking up another burden, right? Like I said yesterday, I think it was, right? We can temporarily lay down our burdens, right? Like when I do the guided meditations, I say to lay down your world, but there's still fear because you're not ready to let go of your burdens just yet. You're not ready to fully let go of your burdens. You're not ready to fully abandon, the burden. And that's okay. But we can practice temporarily letting it go. Temporarily putting it down, right? And we can use that for any time when we're meditating, but we can also use that in times of life where we need to be very mindful, very present, right? So, okay, we need to put down all this stuff for now. I need to be very mindful and present in this situation, and I can deal with the rest later, right? You can tell your mind that. You can kind of bargain with your mind, right? As long as your mind feels like it'll have its say later, it can say, okay, we'll be quiet for now, right? But you have to, you have to get to that point. So, friends, one is freed from hunger, fully quenched. What is, having drawn craving out with its root, right? Freed from hunger. What is hunger? So they're not talking about food here. Talking about that thirst, that craving for sensual pleasures to keep going. Fully quenched. Fully quenched. There's no more push. No, I'm thirsty. I'm hungry. I need more. I want more. Right? It's all gone. Fully quenched. So, friends, this is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful little sutta that is so packed with Dhamma power, that is so packed with beauty and bliss and the way towards letting go. Right? This sutta called Bhara Sutta. So I hope that you keep this sutta close with you. Memorize the English at least, right? Remember its core features so that you can keep it close and you can understand what is the burden. Like the Buddha says, there's two kinds of fools in the world. There's lots of kinds of fools, but in this specific one, he says there's two kinds of fools. One who takes up a responsibility, takes up a burden that's not theirs, and one who doesn't take up a responsibility that is theirs, right? So there's lots of things that are not yours that you're foolish to take up, that you're foolish to carry and take on as a burden. You have enough a burden as it is with your 5 aggregates subject to clinging, right? So lay down the burden. Keep that in mind for your reflection today and every day. I wish you a very spiritually successful and peaceful day. Sukhi Hotu, may you be happy. Practice well and be well.